Hey everyone, and welcome back to FSi DFS. I'm McKinley412, looking at the 4-game slate here on Wednesday. We've had a couple of small slates, but tomorrow, on Thursday, there is a big 12-game slate that should be on tap, and we'll have a video out for that. So come back so we can break that down together. But for now, just this one, 4 games, like I said. Let's just dive right in. I just realized I do not have the color-coded money line here, but you can see Colorado is the biggest favorite at minus 230. Everybody else is pretty even for the most part. Dallas and Calgary is the lowest over-under at 6. Going down here towards the projected goalkeepers, you can see that Ottinger has been the best goalie of this bunch so far to start the season. And honestly, it's not too much of a surprise. He's been a goalie that has been very consistent, very strong in the league for a number of years here. Vizmelka, same deal. He's been strong for a number of years, so I do like him in this spot. But you also see, as we talk about this video, I actually do like Anaheim quite a bit here moving forward. So especially if it's not Vizmelka, because like I said, this is just the projected goalkeepers. Nothing is confirmed at this point in time. However, it was Ingram in the last start for Arizona, so it's probably going to be Vizmelka here going tonight. And yeah, Provestrov for Colorado, he's only got around like 10 to 13 games in his NHL career so far. So these are more career numbers than anything. But yeah, so let's go to the line stacks. Colorado, they have struggled mightily offensively in their past 2 games. They actually have gotten shut out in back-to-back games on the road. And now they're back at home, and they shuffled the lines up, hoping to kind of get that magic back. Because Colorado, as we know, who've been paying attention to the NHL for a couple of years, one of the best offenses in the entire league. For them to get shut out back-to-back games is extremely unlikely. So the shuffling that did occur is they do have Mikko Rantanen now up top with Nathan MacKinnon and Lehkonen. So this is a full power play correlation line. They got their 1-2 punch with MacKinnon and Rantanen on the same line together. And honestly, it's one of the better 1-2 punches in the entire NHL. It's going to be a very difficult line to stack just because of salary. And Binnington, honestly, he's been pretty strong, but he was strong early on in the season. He's kind of tapered off a little bit more, and I think he's going to taper off even more from where he's at now, just because he's more of your average to sub-average goaltender, especially with that St. Louis defense in front of him. But still, regardless of everything, this is still the top line on the slate. I'm going to go over to Philadelphia here. I'm going to be picking on my Buffalo Sabres. Now, Sabres, their defense has looked a lot better, much stronger to start the season than what we saw last year. But we're still talking about a top line here from Philadelphia, who's essentially a favorite team. Slight, as I said, I put even money line, but it is a slight juice to Philadelphia, and they're extremely cheap. Tippett, he has been shooting the puck like crazy. He's got, I think, 3 shot on goal bonuses within his past 5 games. Couturier, he doesn't provide you with as much of a floor, but he's still generating points since he's at top power play unit time. And then Atkinson, he has the ceiling upside with this line. If it is going to be Luukkonen in net for Buffalo, I'm even going to have a little bit more interest in this Philly side. Luukkonen, he looked very strong in that Colorado game. He was actually the goaltender that shut out the Avalanche, one of their 2 shutout games. But that was his first career shutout. His career numbers are sub 900 save percentage. So he's struggled over the course of his young NHL career here. And kind of the joke in Buffalo is that like whenever Luukkonen's in net, just get ready for a high-scoring affair on both sides, on the Buffalo side and the opponent side. It's just kind of what happens when Luukkonen seems to start. But yeah, so maybe that starts here, and maybe we'll have a little bit of interest in Buffalo because of that. Going over to the individual plays, aside from MacKinnon, it's really thin at center. Like, I struggled to pull 4 guys that I had interest in. I did put hints there just because he has been fairly consistent. 3 road games to start the season. Dallas has only played 3 road games so far. He does have a point in all 3 of those games. And they're facing off against Calgary. Calgary only has 2 wins so far this season in 9 games. They are looking really rough. They're not super strong defensively either, especially if there's going to be Markstrom in net here. So I do think hints at 7.3K. If you do want to pay up for center, but get off of McKinnon and kind of go with your build that route, I would understand that. Obviously, I wouldn't go a one-off with hints. I would pair him with a guy like Pavelski or Robertson or Heiskanen, but Heiskanen's been really tragic to start the season. Dylan Cousins, 6.1K. We are going to the Buffalo well here. Dylan Cousins, he does get the top power play unit time, which is more of the interest here, but he's also just been a guy who's been pretty consistent game after game. He always seems to be in those high danger spots in the net, around the net. And so I do like Cousins here at 6.1K, but I could see a lot of people going towards McTavish. McTavish has been shooting the puck a ton. He's got a point in all but only 2 games so far this season. And Anaheim, I mean, are they pretty decent now? I mean, Anaheim and Arizona, for the past decade, it's been like they've been the teams that we pick on in DFS. But honestly, both of those teams have done very well out of the gate so far. So I think McTavish, especially if you're just looking at a game logs, which I don't recommend at all, but I think that he can garner some ownership here at 5.8K. And then Leo Carlsson, back to McTavish here real quick. McTavish does skate on that second line for Anaheim. He is going to be skating with Vetrano and Strome on that second line. So you could go with a full line stack of these 3 guys, and you can see that they're very affordable as well. Strome, not much of a floor to him, but he does skate on the top power play unit. Vetrano and McTavish have a better floor just given their shot volume. However, they do play on that second power play unit. Vetrano also at 6.8K. He's seen his salary balloon just because of how many goals he is scoring, but it is not sustainable whatsoever. He doesn't have the shot volume to match the goals that he is producing. I think I saw like his shot rate was like 27 or 28%, which is just unreal. That's not sustainable by any means. So expect his salary to decrease, expect some regression in terms of the lighting the lamp. Going back down to these guys, Carlson and Johnson, I didn't know which one I really wanted to put here. Leo Carlson, 3.5K, I believe. He's the top line center for Anaheim, and I just think that he's still too cheap. I mean, he's one of the best prospects in the entire league. It went Bedard, and then it's Leo Carlson, essentially. So I think that he's doing just fine here in the NHL. And then Johnson for Dallas. This is their either second or third line center. 4.1K. I think he's going to be very affordable. And again, Calgary, they don't scare me. And really, the one part of Calgary that could scare you is just their defensive centers that you do have with guys like Kadri. But they're going to be more focused on guys like stopping the top guys like Hintz. So I do think that Johnson could squeak by against a very easy Calgary defense. Jeff Skinner, 7.1K. He has been flirting with a shot on goal bonus every game for the past 7 games for Buffalo. He's always around the net. He's generating points. He's scoring goals. He's getting multi-point games. He's getting shot on goal bonuses. I could see this game between Buffalo and Philadelphia being a little bit of a shootout. Skinner does skate on that top power play unit, but he does skate on the second line after Buffalo did shuffle up their lines. Vetrano and Strome already talked about those guys. And then Tuft here for Colorado. And again, I put 5 asterisks here. Make sure he is in the lineup. He did get recalled from the minors. He has been just blazing hot to start the season so far in the minors. I think he's up to 6 goals in the very, very young season down there. And min price. And he was skating on that second line in practice. Now, the second line used to have Rantanen. It doesn't anymore. But again, just pay attention. Make sure he is even in the lineup in the roster. But if he is, I could see him being a very nice punt play if you do want to go that route. In terms of defense, Rasmus Dahlin, he's just got a great point streak going on here. Goals, assists, shooting the puck as well. You compare him with Skinner or you compare him with Cousins if you want to. Anderson for Calgary, he is back. He was suspended for 4 games, but he's finally back. So downplay all those other Calgary guys that we have been playing recently, guys like Uyghur and Hanifin and them. So Anderson at 5.8K, he just sees a ton of ice time. He generates shots. He blocks shots as well. He's really like the ultimate floor play when you do look up towards these higher price defenders. So I do like him there at 5.8. Cam York, 4K. I did maybe want to put Sanheim here for Philadelphia. Sanheim is the top power play unit defender, and York is the second power play unit defender. Sanheim's price was very close to Anderson. I wanted to get a little bit more spread out in terms of the pricing. Like, these are not all the individual plays that I do like. If you do want more of the individual plays that I would be interested in to put into your lineups, come join us. Come join our Discord. Everything's down in the description below. But York at 4K, he's still seeing monstrous minutes, around 23 to 25 minutes per game. Still sees power play time. So I'm going to have a little bit of interest in him at 4K. And then Samuelson, I just went cheap here, 3.3. Really, you're just looking for that block shot bonus, which I think he has done in 5 straight games at this point in time. And his salary really hasn't shifted at all. All he has to do is get that block shot bonus, and he's going to be paying off his salary at 3.3K. Notable special teams, nothing really was standing out. Arizona's power play has been very strong to start the season, going up against weak Anaheim penalty kill. And then I just put these in here with Calgary and Dallas. Like, they've both had really bad power plays and extremely good penalty kills. So maybe if you're going with the Calgary and Dallas stack, maybe don't pay too much attention to the power play units just because of how bad they've been, and they're going up against one of the better PKs in the entire league as well. So that kind of covers everything for this slate. It's only 4 games, like I said. So, yeah, but come back tomorrow for the bigger slate on Thursday. But until then, good luck in your contest. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.